Welcome agents, Von Deagle here, and I'd like to welcome you all to my first vendor reset video. I've been watching the vendor reset videos for a long time now, from Division 1 all through this Division 2, and it's the first time I'm trying one. I've always wanted to, so let's give it a shot, see how you like it. If you like it, subscribe, pound, all that other stuff everybody else always tells you. You know what to do, I ain't got to tell you. So what we're going to do first, we're going to go to Clan Vendor, see what they got. First item, swap chain. Uh, Actually, not bad rolls on it. 12 of 15 SMG damage, 16.5 of 21 critical hit chance with 10.2% accuracy. If you take that accuracy off and put 10% damage to a target out of cover, that'd make that a very decent gun. Second, hardwired, 6.6% skill damage. I take a different take on some things. I kind of think outside the box a little bit. Most people would take the skill damage and max it out or put skill repair on there. What I would do with this piece is I'd go ahead and take the skill tier off and roll max armor onto it. That way it give me a little more survivability with my hardwire set, and I'd run technician, so I'd go ahead and get the 6 tier skill tier anyway. Uh, I've already bought a set of these ongoing directive gloves. These are better than the ones I have on my alt, so I'll be taking those and rolling them to probably crit chance. If not, max weapon damage, max crit damage. You can't go wrong there. Uh, Tip of the spear knee pads are actually very good as well. I take the status effect off and roll crit chance, crit damage. I actually have God roll pair of these, so I'm going to leave these alone. Didn't see anything else here. This double barrel sawed-off shotgun, however, I wouldn't buy it to use it. I would buy it if I needed the 12% damage to armor for my library. Red Murakami. I see so much of that. I don't get it. If y'all understand why Murakami's been rolling double reds all over the place, please let me know. I'll run over to the DZ, or not the DZ, the White House vendor over here. Why can't we run in the White House? My God! Alright, first thing up, Point Man, Gilligard. Not a great armor score, but 5 out of 6% crit chance, 7.4% headshot damage. Blue mod slot, perfect Vanguard. Deploying your shield makes you invulnerable for 5 seconds and grants 50% of your armor as bonus armor to all other allies for 20 seconds. This includes 8-man raid allies. Now, what I like about this set is if I bought it, or this piece, if I bought it, what I would do is I'd take the armor and I'd go ahead and roll it to max armor, 170,000, and I would use this for a tank crit build. I have a couple of these over a couple of characters. I really enjoy it, enjoy the survivability, and once you get that crit chance up about 50-55% and get your crit damage up around 130 to 150, it hits hard enough to be viable and gives you plenty of survivability. The MP5N and the G36C here, I'll go and combine these two together because I'm going to do the same thing with them. They both have 5% damage to armor. Decent talents. Vindictive helps the group kill a status affected enemy, give the group crit chance and crit damage. Up close and personal, I think I would use this for PvP if I didn't already have better guns. Thing I would do, I'd go ahead and roll the specific weapon damage, in this case assault rifle and SMG damage. For the submachine gun, I would roll those to max. Damage to target, damage to armor is 5 of 6%, 6% being the max. Best in slot for attributes is damage to target out of cover, in my opinion. Damage to armor is number 2, and since it's 5 of 6, you're almost to the max, you're 1% off. That's the road I would take with these two. This Golan backpack is a very interesting backpack. Armor is better than what the Point Man was. However, it's still not great. It got armor regeneration on it and skill haste. Now, what makes this piece interesting is the overclock. Allies within 7 meters of your deployed skills gain 25% reload speed and reduces their active cooldowns by 0.2 seconds each second. Now, if you say you have a hive and your cooldown on your ticks or charges for your hive, say it's 2.2 seconds. It's going to take 0.2 seconds off. So you're going to go down to 2 seconds. A lot of people will call this 20%. It's not 20%. It's 0.2 seconds for each second. So the overclock reduces skill cooldowns, gives you skill haste, in other words. You have skill haste on the piece. You have an empty mod slot in which you can put skill haste in it. One piece gives you 10% status effects. So what I would do, I'd buy this, I'd roll the armor off, and go skill tier. That way my skills are stronger, they're faster, and I'm buffing my group. I've already bought one of these, I can't wait to use it. Next piece that's very interesting as well is the 511 tactical piece. I would take the armor, max it out, use it for a skill status effect build. You got skill damage, you got status effect. Make your status effect will make your status effects last longer. Skill damage will make them hit harder, and Gunslinger will give you some weapon damage where you do not have any on this piece. Also, one piece of 511 gives you health. Do not sleep on health. Fire, poison, other things, they attack your health, not your armor. Keep an eye. I'm going to go back to this golem piece real quick. Keep an eye on this. I have something special I want to do with this later. So I don't think there's anything else here that was worth mentioning. So I'm going to get out of here. Going to head over to the campus, and I will see y'all there. The named item for sale here is Ecum's Longstick. It has Perfect Ranger on it, amplifies weapon damage for 2% for every 4 meters you are away from the target. That is a beautiful talent. I would love to have that talent on some other type of gun, marksman rifle, whatever. However, I would not buy this gun today. I don't like the marksman damage. It's 66% of max at 10 of 15. Headshot damage is 100 out of 111. I don't like critical hit damage for this gun in the attribute slot. I would rather have damage to target out of cover. Even damage to armor would be better there. And the thing I really do not like about this weapon is the reload time. I even think I have some weapon handling on this build, which is knocking that reload time down some. But at 6.5 seconds, there's no way. But if you're collecting named gear and you don't have this one and you want it for your collection till you can come into something better, by all means. I did not see anything else here that piqued my interest. Fenris red double yellow. No. Golan. You know, keep an eye on this piece. Might be able to do something with this in combination with something else later. We'll get back to that. Mods, no. Okay, I'm going to head out of here. I'm going to head to the theater. So we'll get the light zone vendors done for DC. Going to the theater vendor, not one of my favorites. Weapon for sale here is Surge, the named weapon. Ever since NSYNC came out with the Harmony, this weapon has just fallen by the wayside, I believe. I don't see anybody running it. Didn't see many people running it before then, and I really don't see anybody running it now. It's got perfect spike. Headshots grant 25% skill damage for 15 seconds. Rifle damage is too low. Headshot damage is not what I'd like in the attribute slot. If there's more than 2 things on a weapon or piece of gear that I have to re-roll, it's not worth it, so I would pass on that. Going through here, oh, the China Light gloves. Now, the 7% skill damage is not that great. It's 70% of max, and that 10% skill haste, it's 10 of 12% skill haste. The bar on the bottom does not really indicate how close to max that really is. That should actually be a little further to the right. Don't pay attention to that bar a lot of times. Pay attention to the values because that bar is sort of a misnomer, if you will. What I would do with this piece, depending on how I wanted to go, if I wanted to go explosion damage, I would keep the skill damage and max that out. And if I wanted to, say, do status effects, I'd take the skill damage off and put status effect. I did the math, and if you maximized either skill damage or status effect, that would put this piece at 90.9% God roll to max. You would be missing 2% skill haste. And in the big scheme of things, once you get down to it and you stack a lot of skill haste, 2% really isn't going to buy you all that much. So you're not really missing out. If I had to put a must buy of the week, I'd probably get these. I actually have better, so I'm not getting them. But if you're starting a skill build or a status build, this would be a good cornerstone for you. Going through, don't really see anything else I like, so we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go to DZ West, and I will meet y'all there. All right, DZ West vendor. He has the Virginian. I know a lot of people who've been looking for this gun, not me in particular, but many of my friends have not been able to find it after hours of farming, and here it is for sale. However, the rolls have a lot to be desired. 10 out of 15% rifle damage is only 66% of max. 7% crit hit damage is extremely low, and in the attribute slot, the third slot, it comes with 11.9% accuracy. Now, don't get me wrong, the 11.9% accuracy is actually 0.1% off of max for accuracy. I would just rather have damage to armor or damage to target out of cover there maxed out. It's got perfect boomerang. Critical hits have a 75% chance to return the bullet to the magazine. If the bullet is returned to the magazine, the next shot has a 50% damage increase. If you don't have the gun and you're really looking for it, you've been farming for it, and you must have it, here it is for you. If I bought it, I would probably I'd take the accuracy off for 10% damage to target out of cover. If I don't have the 10% damage to target out of cover or 6% max damage to armor, I'd max out the rifle damage and go with that. It's up to you. Here it is. Add it to your collection if you need it. The only other piece here I think I'm really interested in, it would be the bounding knee pads by Future Initiative. I would take the health off and roll those for skill or repair skill, not skill repair, repair skill. These Golan gloves with 137, maybe basically 138,000 armor and skill damage. I might have something for these later. Keep these in mind. Might go all mad scientist, so we'll revisit these, and everything else just wasn't there. Go ahead, and we're gonna head to DZ South. All right, heading to DZ South. Let's see. They have the Matador named backpack for sale. I'm looking at the rolls. 9.7% weapon damage is below 60. Is below 2/3. Definitely no. 8% explosive resistance. 7.3% headshot damage. Both of those are 80% or below. I don't like the combination either. This would be a definite pass for me, but if you are looking for a Matador, if you want one for collecting your named items, here it is. You can get it. It's 152 DZ credits. I, however, would hold out for a better one or try and get a drop. Anything else here? Really not that impressed or interested in. The Eclipse Protocol backpack. You can roll off the health for status effect, or if you want your statuses to hit a little harder, you can go skill damage, or if you want to come faster, you can go skill haste. It's up to you, but you can get the backpack here if you don't have it for 109 DZ credits. Not very impressed with the Striker backpack. None of these. This armor repair for the drone at 6.3 of 7.5%, 7.5% being the max. Don't get this one. There's actually a better one out there, so save your DD credits for something better later on down the road. We're going to DZ East. There. All right, heading to the DZ East vendor. Let's see what she has. Starting out, she named weapon. She has a new reliable. This one isn't that bad. I actually have one a little bit better. If you haven't used this weapon yet, get your hands on it. That 30% weapon handling that perfectly optimized gives it turns this gun into a laser.
Only the good stuff.
As you can see, mine's no, not that one. That one right there is rolled a little bit better. I've got max LMG damage and rate of fire, 10% damage to target out of cover. But if you've never tried this gun, try it. It's a laser beam, especially with a little weapon handling, and that 2.1% reload speed is amazing for an RPK-74.
Detected. Nearby location guarded by hostiles.
Stay away from the Negev. Shoots marshmallows. If you need a Negotiator's Dilemma mask, they've got one with 11% weapon damage and 5.5% weapon handling. I take the weapon handling off and go crit chance or crit damage max, or if you want to use an LMG with Negotiator's Dilemma, you can go ahead and max out the weapon damage, keep the weapon handling. This Eclipse Protocol holster is rolled skill haste. That being said, you can take that, again, my outside the box thinking, you can take that, roll the skill tier off, and go with armor or weapon damage and run the tech technician specialization to get a little more pop with your weapon or a little more survivability and keep the skill haste. It's not ideal, but it's a good place where you could do that. The skill haste will help you get your skills back quicker anyway. If not, I would take the skill haste off for max status effect, or if you want your skills to hit a little harder for your status effects, I would use skill damage. These other ones, nothing that I really see. +4 stem charges with the booster hive getting the revamp. Some of y'all might not have +4 stem charges because you didn't use it, but now with the hazard resistance it brings, it might become more viable for you. So if you need a couple extra charges, they're here at the DZ for 73 credits. I don't see anything else I like. So I'm going to go ahead and call it for New York or DC, and I'm going to go ahead and hit. All right, and the vendor at Haven in the base of operations. No, this military RPK-74M is not something I would buy to use. However, if you do not have maximum damage to armor in your library, I would get this, cannibalize it, and put that max damage to armor in your library for LMGs. None of these really piqued my interest. Not really the 511 backpack. These Araldi gloves have 18,935 health, which is max for health. I wouldn't recommend buying the gloves and using them, but again, the health can be used to add to your library and maximize that stat for future use. No, I really don't see anything here else. Benitez. He has the FAMAS 2010 for sale. Not impressed with that. This Hunting M44 does come with max reload speed, so this will be another great addition for your library if you do not have it. Double barrel sawed-off with close-up and personal, maybe if you took max damage to target out of cover in the attribute slot. It would be okay, but honestly, I would make a pass on that too. This Overlord holster. This is an interesting piece. It's got 5.9% crit hit chance, which is 0.1% off of max. If you do not have anything better in your library for a holster, this would make a great addition to your library if you need to. However, if you decide this is something you might be able to use, a couple of things. If you take a look at the crit hit damage, it is 9%, and that bar is in the middle of the line there. That is not an indication of how much of a percentage that value is of the max value. The max value of critical hit damage on this holster would be 12%, so 9% of 12% is 75%. So that bar should be a little further to the right, actually probably somewhere around the M in damage. As I said earlier, don't look at those bars. They can be a misnomer sometime. Key on the value. That being said, if I were to use this holster, what I would do is I would take the weapon damage. I was maxed it out at 15%, which would give me max weapon damage, 0.1% crit hit chance off of max, and 3% crit hit damage off of max as well, giving me a total of 3.1% off of God Roll max. But that 3% crit hit damage, I think, is pretty negligible. I mean, of course, if you're trying to min-max and you know you want to max that out, that's great. But with max weapon damage and 5.9% crit hit chance, 9% crit hit damage, that piece is very, very doable. As far as everything else, the 6.4% armor repair. There was a 6.3% armor repair in the DZ. I mentioned that it was not a good idea to buy it. This is why. It's only 0.1% better, but you're not spending the DZ credits, and you can save those for something else. Everything else I would pass on, so that's going to finish it for my video. I'm going to go pet DOG, and I will see y'all later.